Hello and welcome to EPOP Academic English 1, Week 3, Part 1, Capitalization. So this week we are not going to focus too much on the writing process, and instead we're going to look at a couple of points of grammar that will help you when you are writing paragraphs. And those are, in this video, this is part 1 video, we're going to look at capitalization, and that refers to pages 6 to 9 of the Introduction to Academic Writing book. And then in a second video, part 2, we're going to look at sentence structure, and that refers to the Introduction to Academic Writing book, pages 10 to 15. Okay, so in this part 1 video, we're going to review some of the most important capital letter rules. And we're going to look at 4 main rules when you use capital letters. Those are the first word of a sentence, the pronoun I, in abbreviations and acronyms. For example, an abbreviation here is the United Nations as UN. An acronym is ASEAN, as in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And then you also have the abbreviation FIFA for the Federation of International Football Associations. And then the 4th main rule for capitalization will be proper nouns. So, looking at the first main rule for capitalization, the first word of a sentence, the first word of a sentence must always have a capital letter for the first letter. So, as you can see here, we have at weekends, I like to play football, and the A of at, so the first letter of the sentence, is capitalized. The second main rule is for the pronoun I, which must always be capitalized. So, for example, at weekends, I like to play football. And again, you can see that the letter I for the pronoun is written as a capital letter. Thirdly, abbreviations and acronyms. For example, my brother lives in the USA, and you can see here that USA, every letter is a capital letter. So moving to the 4th rule, proper nouns, a proper noun is the specific name for a particular person, place, or thing. And that specific name, the first letter, must be capitalized. And I'll give you some examples here. So to start with a person, I have a best friend. None of those words is a specific name for a particular person. In the second example, my best friend is Chitsu. So Chitsu is a specific name for a particular person, and so the first letter of a Chit and the first letter of Su needs to have a capital letter, as you can see here. The second case is for a specific name for a place. I live in a city. Again, there are no specific names for places, so nothing is put in capital letters. In the second example, I live in Yangon. Yangon is the specific name for a city, and therefore it has a capital letter as the first letter, Y, as you can see here. And then thirdly, a thing, in this case a book. I am reading a book, no specific name for a particular book, so there's no capital letter. In the second example, I am reading The Institute by Stephen King. So in this case, The Institute is the specific name of a book. A book. So it has a capital letter for each word of the and institute, as you can see here. So I'd suggest that you take a look at the rules on page 7 and 8 of the Introduction to Academic Writing book. You'll find a lot of useful summaries of when to use capital letters there. And also try out the exercises on page 8 and 9. So thank you very much for watching, and please check out the Week 3 Part 2 video for sentence structure.